Imagine this. It's 1955. You're just an ordinary person boarding a flight from New York to Miami for a sunny vacation. Coffee in hand, newspaper open, kids laughing at the clouds. Everything feels completely normal. But this wasn't a normal flight. This is the jaw-dropping true story of Pan Am Flight 914, the plane that took off in 1955 and didn't touch the ground again until 1997, 42 years. July 2nd, 1955, a perfect morning at John F. Kennedy Airport. 57 excited passengers and 4 crew members, 61 souls total, climbed aboard the sturdy Douglas DC-4, registration N214. Behind the controls sat veteran Captain Charles, 20-plus years of experience, over 10,000 flying hours. Next to him, a young co-pilot finishing his training. At 10 a.m. sharp, the engines roared and the plane lifted smoothly into the blue sky. At 10,000 feet, everything was textbook perfect, until it wasn't. 40 minutes later, high above the Atlantic, blood-curdling screams ripped through first class. 3 ordinary-looking passengers suddenly stood up, guns drawn. Hijackers. Chaos exploded, families cried, children screamed. The hijacker smashed into the cockpit, pressing a gun to Captain Charles's head and ordering a new course. In the middle of the struggle, one hijacker's bag tore open. A strange chemical canister inside burst. Thick white gas poured out and instantly flooded the entire cabin through the ventilation system. It wasn't normal smoke. It was a powerful knockout agent. Seconds later, every single person on board, passengers fighting for their lives, pilots reaching for oxygen masks, slumped unconscious in their seats. The plane had become a ghost ship in the sky. Autopilot on, but the navigation system was now completely off course. Hours passed. The fuel gauge hit red. Warning lights flashed with no one awake to see them. As night fell, the engines began to fail, one by one. The roar died. The giant plane silently glided like a massive kite, slowly descending toward the endless ocean. But destiny had other plans. Through the mist, a remote green island appeared. No runway, no landing gear. Belly landing was the only chance. The plane skimmed shallow water and sand, slammed into the beach with a bone-shaking crash. One wing snapped, sparks flew, but miraculously, no fire, no breakup. The impact and fresh sea air slowly brought the 61 people back to consciousness. 24 souls, including several elderly passengers and the hijackers, didn't survive. The remaining 37 stumbled out onto a completely deserted island. No radio, no food, no rescue in sight, just waves on one side and thick jungle on the other. The first 48 hours were pure hell. Plain snacks ran out, thirst and hunger took over. City people who once ate burgers and pizza now forced themselves to eat raw fish, crabs, and even jungle rats. They formed a council. Captain Charles led it. Money meant nothing anymore. Only skills mattered. The wrecked plane became their home. They built a giant leaf and branch roof over it and smeared animal fat on the engines to protect them from salt air, a decision that would save them decades later. 5 years, 10 years, 15 years passed. Friends grew old and passed away. No medicine left, they learned jungle herbs from one knowledgeable passenger. 11 children were born on that island, kids who had never seen a car, a school, or a city. New York and Miami were just magical stories from their grandparents. After 20 years, hope started to fade. Many sat on the beach for hours staring at the empty horizon. But one old engineer refused to let the plane die with him. He began teaching the young island-born generation every inch of the DC-4's mechanics. The biggest problem? Fuel, Long gone, so they did something unbelievable. Using wild sugarcane and starchy jungle potatoes, they fermented and distilled their own ethanol fuel. Year after year, drop by drop, they collected and filtered hundreds of gallons. Next challenge, a runway. They spent 5 brutal years chopping trees with stone tools and leveling a 1,000-foot strip through the jungle. To make the plane light enough, they ripped out every unnecessary thing, seats, bathrooms, panels, until it was a hollow shell with mats on the floor. Rotting tires were replaced with homemade ones made from tree rubber and layered animal hides. In year 38, they tested the engines for the first time. The first try exploded in failure, tears everywhere. But they didn't quit. They tweaked the mixture, and one day, all 4 engines roared back to life again. The sound echoed across the entire island. Birds flew away. Grown men cried. They even extended the wings with wooden sections for extra lift at low speed. Then came 1997. 52 survivors, the original aged passengers plus the new generation, crammed into the hollow plane. Elderly Captain Charles, hands trembling but eyes determined, took the controls alongside his now middle-aged co-pilot. Pan Am Flight 914 was back in the air after 42 years. Miami Air Traffic Control froze when an ancient, unidentified aircraft suddenly appeared on radar, no transponder. When it touched down, the entire airport went silent. Police and ambulances surrounded it. The door opened, and the world saw something it could never forget. A mix of wrinkled 1955 passengers and rugged, wild-looking young island survivors stepped out hand in hand. Families who had mourned them as dead for 4 decades ran forward sobbing. Even the police and doctors had tears in their eyes. This isn't just a plane story. This is proof that when hope stays alive, the human spirit can beat death itself. If this story gave you goosebumps or brought tears to your eyes, smash that like button right now. It really helps the channel. And if you want more insane survival and mystery stories like this, hit subscribe and turn on the bell. Thanks for watching, folks, and never stop believing in the impossible.